Well, I hope you are doing wonderful as we head into this week of Thanksgiving. I hope you have plans to be thankful, to think of things, write things down, list them, maybe share with others. You have a wonderful opportunity Tuesday night in our Thanksgiving meal. I hope you plan to join us that evening at 6 p.m. But as we start the week off, we are in 1 John 3, and just a few words of encouragement for us here as we look at this passage. In fact, the whole chapter of First John 3 is wonderful. It's got some of the more known verses that we hear quoted a lot. Maybe we quote them, or we hear others quote them. And but I want to start with the first one there because it's something that has been very meaningful to me, especially in the last 10 or 12 years. So it says this: See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God. And then I love how this translation of Scripture, the NIV puts it. It says, "And that is what we are." John says, "We have received this great love." So that it can be put upon us and we can be called the children of God. And then he says, and the reason we're called the children of God is because that is what we are. That is what you are. That is what I am. We are the children of God. We are loved by God, known by God, cherished by God, sustained by God, and He loves us. We are His children, and He desires that we be called His children. What an incredible statement. And then he goes on to say this in verse 2. He says, Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. And what John is really saying is the possibilities are limitless. We don't know what's going to become in eternity. And certainly we know some things. Certainly we have some ideas. And certainly we have some hopes based on what Scripture has told us. But John is painting us a picture of saying we just don't even know what is yet to come and what all will be done. And that's not just true for eternity. That's true for your life today. That's true for your week. That's true for your day. We don't know what God is going to bring about in our lives today. He is a transformative God. He is a redemptive God. He is a merciful God. He is a God who makes things new. And in that case, we don't know what He's doing. And so, what a wonderful thing to rejoice in and to consider. And then he goes on, he talks about what it's like to live with God and to not hold sin in our lives. And then he says this: For this is the message that you have heard from the very beginning. We should love one another. And then he says a statement that's so challenging for me to consider. He says, Do not be like Cain. Now, most of us wouldn't think that we're like Cain. You know, Cain actually killed his brother, took his brother's life. But Cain's problem was jealousy. Cain's problem was an unwillingness to recognize his relationship with God. Cain's problem was his unwillingness to love his brother, and instead he took from his brother. And so this is a challenge for us. And he goes on to make this statement in a verse that many of you are probably familiar with. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down His life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother and sister in need but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? You know, the reality of it is God's love changes us. God's love makes things new for us. We talked about this in our Sunday morning service this past week, just of how God works in us, and as He works in us, He brings new possibilities to light. So I hope as you go through this week, you have a time to be thankful. I hope you share that with others. I hope that this word encourages you, because I want you to know something. When God looks at you, He sees a child, and that is who you are. You are His child. Take the love He has given you, use it to love others. God bless you. I hope you have a great week.